We are back on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio, News Talk 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, and now 1000 KKIM in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our guest in studio is Mary Amelia, talking about her great new book called Love Thyself, a life guide for women that I highly, highly, highly recommend. And it's probably a good book for men to read so they can become a little more sensitive towards their spouses, their mates' needs.
That's something that I found fascinating when I first came out with my book, is that a lot of men were buying it. And I remember at one book signing, a minister came up to me and I said, "Haven't you been through the line already?" And he said, "That was for my wife. Now I need one for me."
You know, Mary, it's funny because I'm recently engaged. I've been married a couple times, and I've made. Thank you. Very, very lovely lady. I'm very, very happy with. I've made my mistakes, but I've learned from those mistakes. I've tried to use John Maxwell's axiom of failing forward, and if a guy's in a relationship with somebody and he tends to try to look at things through her eyes, not his eyes, and you just lit up her life, and all of a sudden, she can't do enough for you, as opposed to looking through things in your eyes. So you're shaking your head, yes.
Absolutely. I talk to women all the time about how to teach their spouses about what it is that they want, because we don't come with instructions, and so oftentimes we don't even know what we want, and so how are men supposed to know what it is that we want? So we have to tell them, and I hate to say this, but men are forgetful creatures.
No question about it.
You guys can memorize all kinds of sports stats and remember, all kinds of, I tell my husband, worthless trivia, but you forget what it is that we like. You could forget, what flower we like, or the fact that we like to have our backs rubbed before we go to sleep, or things like that. And so these are the things that we have to remind our spouses, our significant others.
Sure.
And so, yes, I absolutely believe that.
Yeah. And that's a great point you just made there, because, men tend to forget these things. And, if you forget something like that, the first thing your spouse will say is, "You don't know me, you don't understand me," because a woman will take that a lot more personal than a man will. To a man, it's just, "Well, okay, hey, I forgot, I'm sorry," Well, you should know me, and you shouldn't be forgetting these things.
Well, sure, especially after they've had a long relationship.
Sure.
And we're very sensitive, and we like to us it shows that you care if you remember.
Yes. There was a great little thing on Facebook I saw the other day, which was perfect. I wish I would have kept it. It was the Cookie Monster opening up his present. Yeah. And it was a box of crackers. And he looked at his wife and he said, "You don't know me. I feel you don't understand me." So
exactly.
Same kind of thing in reverse. So tell me about, you were saying a woman can have it all. Family, career. How does she do that? How does she balance all these?
Well, she has to actually figure out what it is that she wants. And sometimes that's a bit difficult because especially if you've gone for years just doing what everyone else wants. And so I do have a chapter in here where it's called Life 101. And you actually write down all the things that, Life Planning 101 exactly. It has a place to write down your dreams, what your dreams are. If you had any place to live, where would you live? Sometimes we're stuck where we are, and we don't want to be there. And so where would you want to live? And how would your home look like? How would it be decorated? What would you be wearing in that home? How would you dress? Would you be barefoot? Would it be a cosmopolitan apartment? Would it be a bungalow in Hawaii? What would it be? And once you answer all of these questions, then you get a feel for what it is that you want. And not only that, it also, one of the other things I tell women is you have to allow your inner child to come out. Because if we ignore our inner child, that's where a lot of the rage and the anger comes out. And so it's a journey. The book is actually a journey. It goes through how to take care of your, how to get out of debt, and how to get your family motivated, get your children motivated to help around the house, how to declutter your home. Right. Sometimes our homes are so cluttered that you can't. Your feng shui is all out of whack.
And your book is almost like a textbook, because there's spots for you to fill in answers to questions and things. Our in-studio guest is Mary Amelia, author and lecturer, author of a great new book called Love Thyself, A Life Guide for Women. Now, before this gets away from me, I had a listener, actually, who knew you were coming on, had a question for me, and I wanted to make sure I asked that question.
Sure.
She said, how can you prevent your daughter from making some of the same mistakes that you made growing up? And what do you do if you see your daughter going through that same path that you went through?
Well, first of all, you buy this book for them.
Ah, okay. For the daughter.
For the daughter.
Okay.
It all depends on how old the daughter is, but it lots of times it has to do with listening. And kids feel that we don't listen to them enough. And I think if you listen, the kids will tell you stuff that they're not telling you.
Right.
And sometimes you find out these things after the fact, after they've gotten into trouble or so. But I think that, yes, you have to have conversation. You have to spend mom time, and that's one of the things in here also that I tell women to do. They can actually do relaxation exercises in the evening with their family. It gives them mommy time. It gives the kids mommy time. It gives you time to connect, and it gives you time to hear what it is that's going on with your kids at school, if they're being bullied, if they're being, if they're having problems with a particular teacher, whatever. And and then you can also give them a little back rub, and then they go to bed happy, and they feel connected to you. And so you're asking about what kind of a talk to have with your daughter.
Yeah, because I think that's a special relationship, the mother-daughter relationship, especially when a daughter gets in the teen years, because now she's got all kinds of questions on all kinds of things, and you're right that mommy-daughter time is just is priceless.
It's priceless,
that stage of life.
Yeah. And then with teens, you have to carve out, if you have more than one child, you have to carve out time for them. It's easy for us to make appointments with our clients. But how often do we make appointments with our family, with our children? And so you need to do that. You need to make an appointment with your daughter and say, we're going to take, even if it's half an hour for lunch, even if it's just an afternoon that you can both get away, and it's just the two of you. It shows that you care, for one. And it gives you that sense of connection that you won't get if you just tell me what you want on the phone, or tell me what you need. I'll go get it for you. Here's the credit card. That's just not the same thing.
No. We've got about 2 minutes left here, and unfortunately, we should have.
Fast.
I know. See, it just goes. It sprints by.
Have to
unfortunately,
come back.
You do have to. Oh boy, you're good. You were in insurance. You do have to come back. We'll have to talk
Thank
again.
you.
But. Two questions.
Okay.
One is, how do people find out about your seminars and get a copy of your book?
Okay. They can go to my website. It's maryamelia.com, and that's MaryAmelia. They can call my 800 number, 877-520-6279, or the easiest way for me, because I don't like credit cards or credit card companies. Don't tell anybody I said that, okay?
Okay.
But the easiest way is send a $25 check. I will pay shipping. I will pay handling. I will pay tax. And so it's just $25. That's how much the book is. And I'll take care of everything else. And just send it to Mary Amelia. Send a check or money order to Mary Amelia. P.O. Box 12183, and that's in Bakersfield, California, 93389-2183.
And we will post this on YouTube and on Facebook, the P.O. Box, so we'll be able to have it on there for you again.
Wonderful.
I'm going to drag this out a little longer than I normally would because I have another question for you.
Okay.
In your title, Love Thyself, most women don't do that, do they?
No.
Okay.
No. A lot of them do. I've met some women, but usually those are the ones that are quite wealthy, and kids are gone, and they're just spending all the time on themselves, on their yacht, and
well, yeah, but that's a different
things.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other
but
thing.
I mean, you can love yourself and still be in harmony with your spouse and with your family, and still have it all that way.
Well, I have to tell you something interesting. I had a lady that everyone had told me she was the most perfect person. She had a perfect husband, perfect career, perfect children, perfect everything. And so I thought, well, she's got it all. She doesn't need my book. She came up to me at a book signing and said, I'm so glad I read your book because I got rid of all those time robbers. I have a chapter in here about time robbers.
Yeah.
And so everybody, there's something in it for everyone. Yeah.
Mary, we have to have you back.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Current Radio News Talk 1180.